Good morning, people. One of our favorite things to do is, before we even get to work or anything, is climb Coco Head. I got my buddy Cedric here. Yo! So Coco Head is one of the most difficult climbs out here in Hawaii, but a lot of people like to use it for fitness because they got these massive stairs. When I was a skinny young man, weighing about 140 pounds or something like that, I did this hike. This is what I looked like. It was me, the JK crew, and this challenge right here.
1,000 steps to be exact.
It's actually 1,000 steps?
Yeah, a little bit more. A little over 1,000 steps. Oh, you're going.
I want to show off, but then I'm probably gonna get tired. I don't understand why we're being so honorable here where you're taking on the time. This is like 5%, but it's beautiful. Damn, bro, got the dumbbells. Damn. No excuses, but I'm gonna give you an update. It's hot as hell. The sun's right above our heads. It's like 90 something degrees. It's really hot. It's also humid, so I'm running out of breath and I'm barely halfway there. You see? Cedric, he passed me up. Oh, he's showing off for you guys. Let's go. This is the area that gets really tricky because right here, you just got to be careful with your stepperies because, boom, you could get one wrong move. Oh, there's a beehive right here. You see those bees? Oh my God, there's a lot of bees. But I don't kill the bees because we need the bees. Let's go. So this part's actually kind of easy, but what makes it hard is the danger, man. You could be that water bottle right there. Oh yeah, the danger. Whew. Let's go. We just got done with the easiest stretch and now it's time for the hardest part. This is the steepest, most craziest part, but let's do it. This is the part where you want to give up. Your mind goes, I have to complete, but it feels so hard. I want to rest. You start battling yourself. At this moment is when you go, I don't care. Listen to music. I'm gonna keep going because the thing is, don't stop. And that's like life. Just don't stop. Unless it's crime. Please stop crime. Everything else, just keep going. Challenge yourself. Oh, Cedric. Oh, I almost fell. Challenge yourself, Cedric. Don't give up. I don't know why today's a difficult day, but we gotta continue. Don't stop halfway. All right, so Cedric had a little injury. He was about to pass out. And I said, we could go back down, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna finish it. And here he comes. He's not giving up.
Thought about it though.
Yeah, endurance, man.
I highly considered it.
Yeah, but you didn't.
But
no.
Because we're strong. I thought this was gonna be a motivation video.
It is. It's the realest it can be. Like most people would want to show the hell off. We're doing worse than last week by a lot. And I mean, it does happen though. You almost puked. I don't know what you ate.
To our defense, is we just conquered the long weekend, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not an excuse, it's an update. We were working out all week. Oh, all right. But the thing is, we're almost there, so we might as well try to finish it. I'm almost there too. See ya. Okay, that's it. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I got encouragement from the dogs. I'm almost there. Let's go. All right. All right. We did it. Woo. All right. Finally. Almost there, see? Let's go. Sprint the last stretch. You can puke if you want, but you got to finish it. All right, let's go. Oh, we made it. How do you feel?
I'm dying, dude. I think it's the worst I've felt doing this.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? Like the day we decide to record, is the day
We do the worst.
we do the absolute worst. I don't think we even did this
Let's check
on
it.
our first time.
Let's check the
Yeah,
time.
check the time.
So we take about 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Oh my
'Cause we
God.
got tag on to 3
Yeah.
minutes.
That's 10 minutes more than what we did. 40 minutes is so bad. Okay. All right, but this is what the reward is. A well-deserved rest. Oh man.
Me over here dying,
It's kind of cool, like in this suburb, there's an island.
Yep.
And right there, there's some farms. And we should go visit them again. There's some really nice people. This is a nice day. Beef jerky.
It's a nice day, except I almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little background on my buddy here, Cedrix. It's kind of funny. I'll do a whole story about this, but just real quick. He was the first person to bring me and Bart out on our very first show out of state. And at the time, you were what? Like, you were a casting director or a producer.
Yeah, we had just finished up Gran Torino at the time.
Gran Torino, if you guys haven't seen it, it was Clint Eastwood, and he goes into a Hmong community in Detroit and beats up all these Asians.
We were also the first people to ever kill Clint Eastwood on screen.
Yeah, that's right. He's never
died.
He's never lost.
But the Hmong people shot him.
It was
The Hmong people got him.
definitely one of, back then there weren't many Asians, especially Hmongs, on film. No one knew what Hmong was.
Not at all. Not at all.
So I think it was pretty cool that you got to be a part of that. But then somehow you reached out to us and said, hey, I want you to come do a show.
Yeah, yeah. You know what it was? I had seen you guys, I was watching you guys' videos for a while, and then I had seen you guys do like an appearance at a party.
Oh.
There was like a video of you guys doing an appearance. It was like you were just kind of going around vlogging and stuff like that. And then I was like, bro, and I was promoting this one bar at the time, so I'm like, bro, it'd be cool if like they came through and kind of did the same thing here. Except we got you guys to dress up in your Uncle Chin and Uncle Sam costumes, and you guys like literally did a whole show, like a stand-up show, I think it was, like a skit.
It was so funny because we thought it was going to be like a straight up performance at a theater or whatever. And then we pull up to like a Thai restaurant.
That's true.
Was that your parents' restaurant or? Okay.
It was a friend of mine's.
We went to a Thai restaurant. It was like a club. I think we went up at like midnight or something.
Yeah.
So if you guys know anything about clubbing, people are drunk out of their minds at midnight.
And that's something we did not think about.
But that was so funny.
After the fact, I was like, I will never do that again. Like, it was either we should have done it before,
Right.
like earlier on, and then,
Right.
because like we literally killed the party to bring you guys on stage. At about midnight, everybody's having a blast. Everybody's like tipsy as shit. Then all of a sudden, we're like, everybody stop. And then you guys came on stage, and people were like screaming and hollering and stuff like that. I mean, it was fun overall.
And then, but the funny thing is we jumped on stage and half of the people were so drunk, they didn't know what the hell was going on. They're like, what is happening? And half of them were like, Uncle.
Yeah. And that was when 2009, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes, 2009.
That's crazy.
You guys started YouTube in 2007, something like that?
Yeah, 2007.
Yep.
And it's kind of wild how we reconnected in Hawaii and became partners to Shrimp Daddy and all that. Because, like, it's almost weird how coincidental things work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you ever think we would run into each other again?
Not at all.
Because I went off to grow my YouTube channels and do all this stuff. You went off to being producers for film. You did a lot of films.
Yeah. I wasn't producing films, but yeah.
Oh, you were casting.
Yep.
And then you were
seeing locations.
Yeah. But you were working.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Yep. For quite some time. I was doing that for like 5-6 years or so, and then got into the restaurant business right after. But it wasn't until it was last summer. I remember I was in Japan, and a cousin of mine sends me one of you guys' videos, and confession time. I haven't been keeping up with the Just Kidding stuff.
Look, man, I feel like people come in and out of our eras, but we're always there.
But I just don't watch as much YouTube as I used to. But no, my cousin sends me a clip and he's like, hey, I think they mentioned your name and you guys did a whole episode on Hmong people.
Yes, we did.
And sure enough, towards the end, somebody is like, hey, when people in the comments are saying something about like, when are you guys going to have your first Hmong guest? And you mentioned my name.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, homeboy still fucking remembers me, right? This was like, it's been how long? 2020, last year was 2023? Was it 20? Yeah, 2020.
No, 2023.
What, 15 years?
It's been a long time.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after I saw that, I was like, oh, let me say what's up. And then I dug you up on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to shoot my shot. and then you replied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is both you and your wife messaged, but then for some reason, yeah, like you both reached out, but for some reason, hers was on like the way that my Instagram worked, because it's a business Instagram, there's like a hidden one because I think they flag it and they think it's a spam or something.
Yeah.
Yours came through, but later, like months later, when I was cleaning it up, I saw your wife's.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And it's funny because I met both of y'all that night, and you both, I mean, like it was just memorable because it was our first one.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Out of state. I think we done Sun, but yeah, we were still new. It was like 2 years into the game. We didn't understand how to like get booked for shows. To me, I was in amazement that someone was willing to pay for our tickets to fly us out to just make an appearance.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted to go above and beyond and like do a show and entertain and do all this stuff. But it was kind of crazy how like, yeah, you reached out and I kept seeing all these pictures of you in Hawaii. And I was like, you guys visit Hawaii hella. Like you guys come here all the time. And you're like, oh, we live here, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, and you were like, I live here too. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool how we reconnected and then we ended up working together on Shrimp Daddy and all this stuff. But I do think like there's a huge difference between people that want to become an entrepreneur and people that have done it. Like, when did you get into restaurants? And then like, how many did you build?
So I got into, I started, well, going way back, my dad was a restaurant operator, right? So I fucking grew up in that kitchen. And I never wanted to open a restaurant. But then in 2013 is when I built my first restaurant.
Yeah.
And then at one point we had 4 locations up and running.
4?
Yeah,
Wow.
4 locations up until recently when I moved out here. We had to make some adjustments and stuff like that. And COVID changed a lot too. But yeah, we had 4 restaurants operating. Yeah.
And this was all in Detroit, Michigan?
In the Dirty D. Yeah. Yeah.
So what were they? They're all Thai restaurants?
Yeah, they're all Thai restaurants. So what we had done was, my dad, like I said, he's been in the restaurant business since 93, right? And that's a lot of Hmong people in Michigan. It was like, it's kind of like the Vietnamese and the nail salons.
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Right? So like one Hmong person, which happened to be my aunt, I think she was like, maybe not I think she owned the first Thai restaurant, Hmong operated Thai restaurant. There were other like Hmong owned restaurants, but I think they were Chinese at the time. This is what I heard. Don't quote me on it. But anyway, so a lot of Hmong people started opening up restaurants. My dad opened his up in 93. And I grew up in that kitchen. I was like, bro, I'm never doing this. I went off to college and did a bunch of stuff. And then what do you know? I opened up my own restaurant. But what I did pretty much is my dad, they ran a really like mom and pop Thai restaurant. So I just thought of, taking their concept and like making it cooler. And at that time, like fast casual diners had just become kind of a big thing. Well, not just become, but they were a big thing, like Chipotle, Qdoba. Chipotle and Qdoba? You guys have those?
We have Chipotle. I don't know if
not here, Qdoba.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of like I took my dad's concept and I like, his menu looked like the Bible. It was like this thick, had everything.
Asian style. I don't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. We're going to have a menu of did you get bit by a bee or what?
Yeah. But, no, that's exactly what it is. If you talk to my dad, he's like, maybe somebody they want to eat duck. So I have to have the duck. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah. But then they end up wasting hella food because they're not managing their inventory. And then it's like,
exactly. You should see his kitchen. It's like yay big and it's just crammed with shit. So, no, so we just shrunk the entire menu, like we graffitied the walls. I had like Ong Bak posters up, you know what I mean? And things like that.
Modern.
More modern, loud music. And it was on a college campus. So Turned out it worked really well. It was really well received. And this was at a time where Detroit was like being rebuilt. I don't know how much you know about Detroit, but Detroit went down to like,
well, when you took me, I was in dollar zone. I was in shock how, excuse me, but it is crummy there.
yeah.
Like, I've never seen abandoned skyscrapers. Like, it looked like a post-apocalyptic film where you see rows and rows of just like skyscrapers to like manufacturing places just
I took you guys down to downtown.
abandoned, bro. Yes. Yeah.
You guys to the border.
There was nothing there but like a casino, and it was one of the saddest.
I took you guys to the border of Canada and Detroit.
Yep.
I remember. Yeah.
Yep. And you're like, you see that? That's Canada. And I was like, that's the closest I've ever been to Canada in my whole life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was in shock because, like I said, like I haven't traveled outside of LA much. And I thought downtown LA was garbage, but like Detroit was like, oh my God.
On the flip side, LA is probably looking worse now than Detroit.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, that was a crazy time. But like, yeah, so you went in there and then you built out.
Yeah, so it was like up and coming, like they were coming back in. Dan Gilbert, you know who that is? He owns the Cavaliers.
Okay.
So he started investing in Detroit, started buying up properties, and the cool thing about him is he was taking his companies. He wasn't just buying the buildings and fixing them up. He was doing that, but he would also bring his companies to Detroit to occupy those.
That's smart.
So he really started like this like regrowth of downtown Detroit, not all of Detroit. It's impossible to bring back Detroit. But when that started happening, I had this idea, and I was scouting for movies at the time, so I kind of started to get to know the lay of the land. And then I saw this spot being built, and I'm like, yo, that'd be a dope spot for a restaurant for the idea that I had. And yeah, man, made them.
That's how you got started?
Yeah, that's how I got started.
Wow. So did you, at that point, were you like, oh, I got all this money saved up, I'm going to go for it? Like, you just decided to open?
I didn't have any money saved up. That's the thing, man. Like, like many people, like sometimes you have an idea. I just think like, and this is something that I tell a lot of people, like networking. Networking is a big thing. And what was I saying? Networking and not burning any bridges, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a really big thing because you never know like what's going to come around and the people that you might need, whose help you might need in the future, right? So staying on good terms with a lot of people. But when that opportunity came around, I just had to look at my resources, what I had, like who I knew, and I had to, cash in my favors. You know what I mean? So I approached anyone and everyone, family, friends, and, borrowed like $5,000 here, $10,000 here. Some people gave me like old walk-in coolers, and I took my cousin had like extra dining tables.
So it's like old school Asian style.
Yeah. But we made it look nice. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like totally slapped together. We spent like a good chunk of money on it, and I had something saved up, but I didn't have enough to like open a full-blown restaurant, right? And my parents helped me out a little bit, and that's something too, right? I feel like a lot of times people want to do things on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I was that way at one point too, or like, I want to do it on my own. But something I slowly realized, it's hard to do anything on your own.
Oh yeah. That's why I always work with partnership.
Yeah.
I never really done anything all by myself because I just like working with people.
It's funner.
Yeah, it is. But then, I mean, there is the drama too, but I have ways to kind of figure out who's good and who's not. Like, I think the biggest thing that separates like someone who wants to be an entrepreneur and someone who's done it, that's actually one of my rules at this point is I only partner up with people that built a business and either sold it, or even if they didn't, like, it didn't pan out.
They smart.
Yeah, they know so much and they get it. And in people that haven't yet, there's a lot of things that they're just kind of imagining, right? And one of the things is the endurance is the biggest difference I see. Like, people that built a business before, a lot of them are able to just work 12 hours straight, and they've over the years, especially like in construction or restaurant, like more of the blue collar stuff. But on the flip side, like guys that are sitting on their desk all day, like they have the endurance to just sit there for a long time and focus.
Yeah.
So like whatever it is, I think business owners just understand how to like power through a lot of stuff.
I think people who've never ran their own business underestimate how much work it is.
Right.
I think people think like, I'm going to open my business so I don't have to work, which is like the complete.
It is the opposite. Yeah.
Like you're working holidays, you know what I mean? You're never clocking out.
Yeah.
You're working 24 hours a day in the beginning stages, at least, right? To get things up and going. And then, you know, if you succeed, then, you know.
You do get your breaks.
Yeah, you get
I think what they see is like you go on vacation during a weekday and then they're working and they're like, I wish I had that. But what they didn't see is
Right.
you work over the weekend and then you figured out your business good enough to where you get like a 2-day break.
Correct.
But also what they don't know is that on vacation at 3 a.m, you might be dealing with an emergency and you don't really get a work-life balance. So everyone that's like, you know, I want a work-life balance, I'm going to open up my own business. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I don't know. I think it usually comes from the digital nomad space where a lot of them can do it because like they're doing businesses that are like very manageable, where they'll do like, let's say like email marketing or something where you can really do a little bit of work and, you know, you have a lot more freedom with time.
Yeah. If you can figure that out.
Yeah. But it's more like being self-employed or a freelance. Like if you're talking about building businesses, especially restaurants, there's only a few people that's actually scaled and built their restaurants enough to the point where they don't even have to walk in and they have a good management team. But that's like the rare Michael Jordans of the game.
Yeah.
Most people have to still work the shop, and it takes a long time because of the margins are so slim. There's only a few businesses where it gets to the point, and if you notice, a lot of these folks, like, they're much older. Like, they've spent decades building their restaurant or whatever business they had, where they have a management team, where they worked out all the kinks, and at that point, they're golfing all day. But you don't see it from guys our age.
I feel like that, I don't know, like, do you ever think that's the end of an era? Or maybe it's because we're here in Hawaii, but I like the time you and I have spent, you know, studying Shrimp Daddy and studying other restaurants and stuff. Like, I see, especially out here, like how hard it is for small businesses, brick and mortar, restaurant or not, you know, clothing stores or whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
How hard it is for them to survive, especially like the evolution of online shopping.
Oh, yeah. Retailing is like, it's hard.
Yeah, I don't know how, and that's the thing too, is like a lot of these like small mom and pop restaurants, that was the older generation that was doing it.
Yep.
And a lot of the kids now, you know, they go out, they go off, they get their education, and you know, they don't want to pursue that anymore. You know, and I don't, you know, I wouldn't want my kid to necessarily get into, not the way that I did.
Yeah.
I think if he got into the restaurant industry, hopefully he would, you know, welcome my help, and I could tell him what I learned, what I did, what I would do different, and he can kind of use what I went through to scale and upgrade, you know what I mean? And not do it the same way I did. It was really like, you know, it was an upgrade from what my dad did, but that's how I feel with every generation. Like, it should always be, you know, like the 2002 Honda Civic should be the 2000 Honda Civic.
You hope the next generation,
you know what I mean? You don't want to go backwards.
Right. You hope that your kids don't do worse than you.
It's not their failures.
But I do see
failures.
When it comes down to people like desiring entrepreneurship, a lot of them just are romanticizing it, and they think that it's going to be easier than working. And I'm actually doing, like, a lot of people online, I feel like what they do is, you'll see hella gurus that never built a business before. You see a lot of people that are like, it's super corny, and I mean, they're just trying to, you know, probably sell a course and make their, you know, like, dream life work too. But a lot of the times when you see it, it's just basic shit, and a lot of these like motivational videos that don't tell you the truth about what it's really like owning businesses. And I always tell people, if you have a job, you might not like your coworkers, you might want to escape that, but it actually gets worse when you own a business.
Then
you hate your staff sometimes. You hate your customers.
They hate you.
Like, everyone thinks because you own a business, you're a billionaire with unlimited money and you're this like evil person. You can never have anybody to vent to or talk about unless it's other business owners, because they go, oh, poor you, you know, you're a millionaire or whatever. But little do they know, like, almost every person I know that ran or owned a business went bankrupt. They went under. They built a business on a dream,
work years with no pay, and also not only no pay, they go into debt. And so like we never hear those stories. We hear all these inspirational stories online. We hear all these encouraging videos. And I don't want to like be discouraging, but I do want to be real about it all. And I know that a lot of people are out there working and they want to quit, start a business, which is completely fine. But I always tell people, like, if you're working a 9 to 5, that's plenty of time actually to do a side hustle and then build that up to do a business. Why do you have to quit completely, put the mortgage up, and do something completely new that you have no experience in? And you think it's going to be easy. You think it's going to be something that's like work-life balance. It's actually going to be the complete opposite. But some people like that, and they go, I actually would work, 5 to 9 rather than my 9 to 5. I rather work 24/7, but now I'm my own boss. Some people actually like that, but I think it's a very, very small percentage of people. Most people, they get shocked into it and they're like, oh my God, this is worse than having a job. I love having a job. It's just no one would hire me because
Having the same,
right?
I was a terrible employee.
Yeah. I think most entrepreneurs don't make good employees because they try to take over the company. They try to fix everything. Our brains work in a way where we're constantly obsessed about problem solving. And also we're combative, we're stubborn. We'll try to beat the owner and then we'll split off and make our own company competing with them. So unless you're a peer and a partner, but even then it's also difficult. I don't know. Sometimes I think the happiest place is when you're the number 2 and not the number 1.
But that's what I was asking you before, because I was like, remember when we reconnected, we're talking about you and Bart's relationship.
Yes.
Because you guys have been, and you don't see that very often, where people can be partners for such a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that work?
I mean, we definitely had fights in our early years.
Fight, like, did you beat him up?
No, never physical. See, the cool thing is Bart's actually a very level-headed dude when it comes to, because he's hella autistic. So he's just,
Really?
yeah, he's like very logical to the point where, and the funny thing is, I'm around a lot of autistic people, I realize. Like Hannah's she's a little on the spectrum. Like I got a lot of friends that are like that. I think it's because I love their straight upness.
Yeah.
I love people that are just, even if it's painful, it's easy for me to understand, because when people are conniving and like two-faced, and I don't know, like I know some people just might want to be nice.
Yeah.
So they're, it's not that malicious, but then like later you find out 3 years later that maybe they weren't being honest with you because they were afraid how I would react or whatever, right? So to me, I'm like, well, fuck, that's not cool. But anyways, Bart's not like that. So it made it very easy. If he has an issue, he'll bring it up with you. I'm the hothead in the friendship.
Do you think you have to pick your battles, though?
I do.
Because there's always going to be issues, right? And it's like, well, like, do you ever feel like, oh, maybe I'm going to just, let this one go?
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like
not fight over dumb little shit.
When I see him very passionate about a direction to take, I'll go, I disagree with you, but fuck it, let's try. Because I'm just speaking in hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know either. And I think that's the biggest thing. One, I do remember back in the day when I did have to put my foot down is there was a new platform coming out during the time of YouTube. I forgot the name of it, but they paid out immediately. YouTube didn't have a monetization program at the time. And Bart was like, yo, let's pivot. This one pays. YouTube doesn't pay. And I said, YouTube has a bigger audience and it's going to get acquired by Google. So we fought pretty hard on that. And I remember I was like, this is one of those things I have to put my foot down on. And then Bart's the kind of guy where he's like, all right, well, you seem more passionate about it than I am. You probably know more than I do. I disagree, but I'm going to roll with it. And over the years, I think we've noticed it. And one of the biggest, funniest arguments we had was we were creating a sketch and the character was supposed to be like a badass biker, right? And then we had to get him a leather jacket. And we literally argued for 1 hour about if this leather jacket should have 4 buttons or 6 or some shit like that. It was the amount of buttons. And after an hour or two, we were so heated. And I was like, bro, like we literally wasted over an hour fighting over buttons.
And that's the reason why I don't work with amateurs, is because like I was once that. Like you get so, what do you call it? Like invested into your,
And petty.
yeah, you're hella petty, and you have to go through all those things in the very beginning. No one really doesn't. Like everyone, like let's say like you're a cook and you want to build your restaurant and like you have your favorite dish, but what if it never sells? But you're just very proud of it. And then like maybe you market it shit or whatever, but you're hella stubborn. It makes no money, but you're just hella like, oh, this is my signature. It's who I am. This is my opinion. And then like when people criticize it, you feel hella attacked. And I think one of the biggest reasons why amateurs fail is because like they get too invested. Like they're married to certain things. They're not flexible. And that was a good example of like us just realizing, man, who cares how many fucking buttons? Like we're focusing on the wrong shit. Focus on the story, focus on the comedy, focus on the entertainment value.
Was there anybody in the comment section that was like, bro, that's too many buttons on a leather jacket? Did anybody comment on the leather jacket?
Even worse, we didn't even make it the video. We ended up getting this. I'm like, that's even more of a bigger waste of time. We didn't even fucking make the video. So, I mean, it just goes to show like the shit that we argue about, the shit that we care about, all this amateur shit, man, like really it's like you're wasting your own time. You're sabotaging your own like success because like people get caught up on the wrong shit, really.
Yeah.
I've seen so many partnerships fall apart on the stupidest shit. They're fighting over like, oh, I don't like the way you said no about my idea.
It must be more challenging for you guys though, because you guys are both like creatives.
Yeah.
Right? Like on an even playing ground or playing field. Like I guess what I'm saying is like with other businesses, like I've never like done social media like that. But like for example, if I was to open a restaurant with somebody, like we don't need two chefs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just gonna cause problems. Like if I'm taking care of the aesthetics and how the place is supposed to look, like I don't need to be arguing about the colors of the chairs with you. You know what I mean?
So the way we managed was whoever wrote the idea and spearheaded the idea, they take the lead and then we follow. So when it comes to like, what we used to do is we would write the sketch and then we would vote on it and be like, let's film that one. I like your idea. And then if it was Bart's idea, he takes the correct. And then if we want to make an adjustment, we have to do it with like tact, right? We'd be like, hey, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think over the years, that's worked out the best because then if you know your role, I think that makes it so you don't want to, what do you call it? Like step on their toes. This is their project. I'm here to support. Yeah. But when it becomes your equal idea, I think that's when things get muddy because you want to take a direction. He wants to take a direction, right?
Yeah.
So over the years, that's kind of how I learned. And even when I work with you and Brownie and Shrimp Daddy, I feel like there's a lot of like, it almost feels like we're playing this Ouija board and all of us have our hands on the thing and it's just moving around and we're like, oh, you want to do that? Oh, let's do that.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
And I think we're capable of doing that because all of us have built businesses, failed businesses.
Well, I think we all kind of know like our strengths and weaknesses. I think that's also the importance of a partnership is, you know, you have to be honest with yourself and know where your weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And that's the only way. It's like a car, right? If you don't know what the problem is with the car, you can't fix it.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So once you're able to be honest with yourself and be like, yo, I suck at this, the idea is to find a partner that is good at that.
Yeah.
And maybe sucks at what you do, right? Or maybe not sucks,
like complementary people. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that suck would be the wrong terminology. It's more so the, just doesn't have the experience in your field. So like even with Shrimp Daddy, like I've cooked. Yeah, like I just grabbed the pan naturally. You know what I mean?
And I work the register because I like sales. Yeah.
And then you do social media because
I do social media.
You're good at social media.
That's what. Yeah, and then Brownie also cooks too.
Yep.
That boy has endurance. I mean,
yeah,
he think he sleeps. He doesn't sleep. He sleeps like 3 hours, surfs, break dances, and he works 10 hours. So, I mean, he's amazing. But I think what's really cool about this group that we have is no one's too stubborn in a way. Like we're stubborn in a way that I don't think we give up, and we have endurance but it's like there's like no ego. I feel like out of what I feel from you and Brownie is you just want to win as a team versus as a individual, and I do think that's a big what separates kind of people that haven't had partnerships before to people that I can see it. If they've never worked in a team,
Yeah.
you can immediately see they're in it for their own glory. And I don't think it's like conscious. I think they just don't know. Like, this is my idea. Therefore, I want everybody to love it without any criticism. And they don't know they're doing it, you know? Or like, I'm working in this partnership, but I want to be the leader. I want to be the person that everyone follows. And it's like they care more about the glory than actually making a profit. They care about the wrong shit. They care about like making something cool and everyone loving it and they become popular. And I'm like, why are you in business for? You're in business to develop something and give a service to people that they enjoy, that could help their lives or whatever it is, right? But a lot of people do come in for the wrong reasons and they want glory or whatever. And I'm like, you have a failing fucking business, but you just want attention.
I think the biggest thing that I learned from you, because I did do everything by myself, like with my restaurant, well, with the help of my wife. And obviously I had good staff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it moves slow when you're trying to do things by yourself.
Yeah, because you can't
Do everything by yourself, right? So if you partner up with the right people and you can tackle different things, then you'll excel faster.
And I think the only way to learn is actually going out there and doing it. Because if you yourself haven't built anything ever, you can't do it by yourself. You can't do it with partnerships. But that's the only way you're actually going to learn about all of this. It's a social skill, the trial and error, going through, getting burnt. And my philosophy is like to meet that one golden person in your life that's going to help you with everything from like your success to whatever. It's worth the 99 people that burn you. It's going to help you build the endurance, all that stuff. But if you don't take that risk at all, you just never learn anything. And you're just going to constantly have hypotheticals in your brain, but you need feedback. Like you need to test, right? So in business, you have to test. You have to test your relationship with people, which is why we're starting small. We're just doing, like, we have the money to build a shop and buy it and go straight up and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But it's so scary.
It is scary. And also, we don't know how we work with each other. Like, I think, let's just do it on a small scale. Let's make sure that let's test it out. Test it.
Test each other out.
Exactly.
Test the relationship out and
grow as we go.
Product.
Yeah. There's no need to fuck on the first date. I mean, although it's nice, but yeah, like don't blow your load so soon. But there's no other way to learn this stuff until you just go for it. And I'm just trying to prepare everybody out there, the realities of it, because there's too much of this like dreamy, romanticizing bullshit online. And it really is annoying. And doesn't it make you laugh? Like when you see these reels of like business gurus or whatever, it's like, you can do it. It's like, shut up.
So you don't know. Like I watch these guys, I'm like, dude, these guys must be so good at what they do. Because like, but it's all bullshit. Like, and I think even when people see what you do or what I do, it's they don't see all the times you failed.
Yep.
On your ass, or at times, like I'm telling you, like there's so many things that I've tried behind the scenes that just never worked.
Yeah.
You know, or you fall flat on your face. But it goes back to what you're saying. If you don't try,
you never learn though. But on the flip side though, the positive part of why, so it's like, why do it anyway? It sucks, right? Like there is a lot of times you fail. There's a lot of heartache. There's a lot of intense stress that you bring upon yourself. Because in entrepreneurship, it's literally self-inflicted. You take a gamble, you take a risk because you have a hope and a dream. And it's really a weird, selfish thing that you bring your whole entire family into. And sometimes you have an honorable like reason, like you want to do something for the world or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're on a mission and you're pretty much bringing your friends and family along too, a lot of the times. But the positive thing about it is the journey, is like going through that stuff with your family and the ups and downs and challenging yourself and what you learn from it. And why do I keep doing it is because like it's the fight and the competition. It like might not make sense to a lot of people who like a better work-life balance, or if you like routine. Like my mom, she loves having a job. She's retired now, but she told me I could never do what you do because I love predictability. My personality, you know, I'm a nurse. Like I like to clock in, clock out. I know when I'm getting paid. I have my health insurance. Like hospitals usually don't shut down. she goes, that's my perfect life. And then after that, I like to go play my piano. And she's like, she's like, I don't like risk. And then I love risk. It's a bad way to think, but yeah. So really it's if I know school isn't for everyone, but if you're watching this and, you know, you have our type of personality, you're going to thrive. You're going to love it. And it is the fight that makes you feel alive. As weird as that sounds, it's kind of like this hike, like the pressure, the pain, the stress, and then the reward is you get to the top and look at this freaking view and you're just talking with your friend, and we can do this at your house and never have put ourselves under this pressure of walking this damn thing.
Dying today?
No, but like I'm hanging on the cliffside and I'm talking business with my buddy here, and we're having a business meeting, and we're
Like things are crawling off.
and I'm bringing you along on this, and I think that's what it's all about. Like, because when it does strike, it is like winning the lotto, right? Like when it does win pretty hard. Like you're out here, you brought your whole family, you guys were able to move to Hawaii and do a lot of things in your lives and take your family out to vacations and things that it's not really possible for everybody.
Yeah. Just a lot of self-evaluation, man. And I think it changes over time. What you might want at an early age might be different than what you want later on in life. You know what I mean? Like I always wanted the Ferrari and the mansion, but as I get older, there is shit crawling on me. So as I get older, I just want to spend time with my family. So I do like to work hard, but I also do want that balance. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's the thing. But like, I like taking my daughter to school every morning. I like picking her up from school.
That's cool.
I mean, like having the luxury to do that. Yeah, not everybody can do that. You know what I mean?
No, I mean we grew up like latchkey kids, and most millennials, we barely saw our parents.
No.
So I feel like now we're trying to provide a more cool like family.
We're trying to
like lifestyle, like where you're involved, you know, like being an involved dad.
Yeah, we're trying to give kids what we didn't have.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of like even bar, like everyone says the same thing, man. It's like I didn't have a childhood with my parents, like, and I make money because that's what I want. And I'm like, yeah, it's completely different from your 20s. Oh damn,
they are.
It's like that is massive. It's a flying ant. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, yeah, buying dope shit is nice. And I think a lot of people will have the new money phase. If you guys go out there and build businesses, you will. When you do well, like you're going to buy things you never were able to do. You're going to go on all these trips. Some of you guys might constantly have model girlfriends left and right. And then I think that's nothing wrong with it. And like, but your values will change as you age, and some people they won't, but I mean you just got to figure out what's right for you. And for me, I think at the end of the day, I agree with Cedric, and the new idea of wealth is like having time to just do shit like this in the middle of the day with your friends. It gets harder and harder, and I'm sure you guys know, you guys are now like in your 30s and you're probably working hard. You probably started a family, all these things, and you realize how difficult it is to just chill like in your teens with your boys. So why do we build businesses and try to make money and do all that stuff? It's because like if you could control the group that you're around, you can work with your buddies.
And it's not work.
Yeah, and it's not work. Yeah.
I mean, it's work.
Yeah, it's not work. Well, yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed today's little walk and Cliffside podcast. Let me know in the comments below if you like this. If you watch this whole entire video, please hit your like, the subscribe, also the notification bell. I am going to be posting. I don't have a schedule yet. So yeah, leave that notification bell on because you just never know where I'm going to post. But let me know if you guys like things like this. Also, put in the comments below. Are you a current entrepreneur? Are you you have dreams to become one? Where you are, what stage you're at. If you want to do something like a side hustle, you don't want to do like a full-on business. And the questions that you have, if you want us to further elaborate on anything. Okay? Till next time. Peace.